Bring back the men who used to walk up fire escapes for women. Bring back the men who used to stand outside a girl's window.
I just need to ask, what is the expectation for chivalry in 2026?
To most of you men out there, chivalry is dead. Chivalry is fucking dead.
Always known that men don't exist anymore, and like the whole men used to go to war.
Modern women's problem today is that they're very entitled. The very thing they drove away is the very thing they're asking for again. Chivalry died when femininity jumped out the window.
I work in Midtown, and I have to say, something that the downtown man can learn from Midtown, uptown man, whatever you want to call it, is holding the door for people, okay? Every time I go to the office and I go to a coffee shop, whatever, men are always holding the door. I'm like, thank you so much. Downtown, far and few between. What the hell is that about?
To the cute guy at the HEB that I'm convinced was stalking me, but because he was interested in me, I thought we had something, and then you didn't pull up your car next to mine. You just zoomed off, and I wasn't done daydreaming about us.
I'm sorry, but maybe I'm missing something. Why exactly is chivalry dead? I don't see two damsels in distress that are in dire need of a big, strong man to come get them out of a situation that they have no hope of escaping. Or am I wrong? Because it seems that in this case, no matter what the men would do, they're going to be wrong anyway. They're wrong if they don't help two fully capable women with their vehicles, but I also have a feeling that those men would be in the wrong if they actually came over to help those women. Because what exactly are they wanting? A man to overlook the situation and tell them that they did a good job? Because then he might be accused of mansplaining, or even worse, of harassing two perfectly strong, capable women. But yeah, I don't think that chivalry is dead. I think that some women are finally able to take care of themselves, and they don't like it.
You see, back in the day, a situation like that would have been simple. Two women struggling with their car. A man passing by would most likely step in without even thinking twice. It wasn't some calculated move. It was just normal, something rooted in community, in basic human decency. And yeah, chivalry too. But the time we're living in now is completely different. A man today has to think before he acts, especially in a parking lot. That's not a small detail. That's actually one of the biggest factors. A random approach in a parking lot can easily be misinterpreted. From his perspective, he's not just thinking, let me help. He's thinking, how is this going to look? Is this going to make her uncomfortable? Am I about to be recorded? Could this be turned into something else online? Because let's be real, we've seen it happen. A simple interaction can get flipped into a narrative. One clip, one caption, and now a guy who thought he was doing the right thing is being judged by thousands of people who weren't even there. So now, instead of acting, men hesitate, not because they don't want to help, but because they don't want the risk that comes with helping.
To most of you men out there, chivalry is dead. Chivalry is fucking dead. Why the fuck are me and my homegirl walking into our job? There's 3 niggas standing outside. There's 3 dudes. 3 dudes, men, standing outside near the door. One of them stops and says to my homegirl, oh, who you trying to impress today with them lashes? Trying to flirt and shit. Open the fucking door. Shorty had to open the door for herself. Like, chivalry is dead. Oh my god. Oh my, this is scary. Chivalry is fucking dead. You guys are fucking useless.
I just need to ask, what is the expectation for chivalry in 2026? Last 2 months, every time I get on a subway, all of the men are sitting, the women are standing. Even when it's not crowded and every seat is taken by a man, I'll be having my bag, my coffee, holding my dog. Nobody even bats an eye, looks up from their phone to offer me their seat. The only person that has done it recently was an elderly man, which obviously I did not allow him to give me his seat.
The real question is, why do these women think they should be the only ones sitting down on the train while the men are standing? They do realize that men work too, right? A lot of these men have been on their feet all day just like anyone else. I don't get that. A man usually has no problem standing up if someone asks him politely, and that's the key part, asking. That basic level of respect goes a long way. But instead, what you're seeing more and more is an expectation without communication. No request, no acknowledgement, just this silent assumption that a man should give up his seat simply because he's a man. And that's where the disconnect comes in. Because it's not really about kindness at that point. It starts to feel like entitlement. There's a difference between, hey, would you mind if I sit? I've had a long day, and standing there expecting someone to get up without saying a word.
Bring back the men who used to walk up fire escapes for women. Bring back the men who used to stand outside a girl's window with a boombox, singing love songs to her.
And can we please bring back the men that are on bended knee outside singing in your window?
Can we please bring back men offering to buy you a drink at a bar? Like, as a grown man, why are you sitting here talking to me for 5-6 minutes and you have not said, like, oh, hey, what are you drinking?
We need to bring back men who simp and men who yearn. Like, my dad, every time I'm home, my dad is the OG simp and yearner for my mother. And honestly, for his daughters. He does everything for us.
What happened to the men that used to love to send flowers just because? Take you out on a date, or matter of fact, call you and be like, get ready now. I'm going to give you like an hour.
Bring back the men who will not allow rejection to keep them from the woman of their dreams. Bring back the men who will see a beautiful woman sitting at the bar by herself and then go over there and talk to her or send a drink over to her.
I'm not gonna lie, chivalry is so important to me, and that shit is dead. That shit is dead, I guess. Like, what the f***? Dude, it's just ridiculous. I feel like even older men, I'm sorry, but like, it's just like, why don't you know to like hold the door open for me? Why don't you know to pull my chair out? Like, it's just so easy. Like, it's the easiest little things. I'm not asking you to spend $1 billion on me. And I am not even that kind of girl. I am not even the kind of girl who's gonna sit here and be like, you have to pay for everything. But it's like, girl, the least you could do is hold my fucking door open and fucking pull the fucking chair out.
I mean, with a mouth like that, why would any man extend any chivalry? The thing is, with these women who are obsessed with chivalry, they're expecting special treatment on day one. She said, "Why don't you know to pull my chair out?" What does that sound like? That doesn't sound like appreciation. That sounds like expectation. And that's the problem right there. Because chivalry was never meant to be something you demand from a stranger. It was something that came naturally over time, based on how two people treat each other. It was earned through mutual respect, not handed out immediately like a requirement checklist. I get the frustration a bit, but a lot of men have hold off on chivalry because it hasn't been earned from them. With these women, they expect to get the grand gestures on day one. A lot of men are chivalrous on many dates, and it still gets them nowhere, only used. And it is also not supposed to be handed out to everyone, which is why many men are selective with it.
Yeah, definitely on my bucket list is for me to call up my man and be like, baby, I'm running low on gas and I need you to come pay for me. So he drops everything that's going on. He swerves in his car, he pulls up right next to me, and then he pumps my gas and he pays for it. Because he loves his lady. And like, yeah, like I just admire him because he's gonna be so handsome and whatnot. And I love a man who does acts of service. Like, a girl could only dream. But y'all already know how the men in 2026 are.
I think we've forgotten how to be women. We've forgotten how it feels, what it feels like to truly be treated like a woman. I was sitting in my car this morning outside of a shopping market, just answering some emails, and I saw no less than 4 or 5 couples where the male counterpart of this couple was effeminate at best. And I'm I'm not throwing shade whatsoever. I am simply wondering, like, when did our young women forget, or were they not taught how to be treated, how to feel like a woman, how to walk on the inside of the sidewalk, how to be receptive of chivalry, of attention, to be protected and led and loved? Or is the question actually, when did these men forget to be men and just grew up to continue to be boys? Or were they just not taught? Is it our fault? When did this happen and how do we fix it?
Some men have lost their masculinity. I agree with that. But the real question she should be asking is, why does society view masculinity as toxic? Because what she's implying is that there aren't a lot of masculine men anymore. She said, when did these men forget to be men? But in reality, they didn't forget. They've been conditioned to suppress it. For years, the message has been, tone it down, don't be too assertive, don't approach like that. That's toxic. So what happens? Men adapt. They start second-guessing everything, how they speak, how they act, when they should lead. And over time, that hesitation gets mistaken for a lack of masculinity, when really it's caution. Because now, if a man is too direct, he's aggressive. If he takes initiative, he's controlling. If he doesn't, he's not masculine enough. It's a lose-lose situation. And a lot of women today don't want to be led. They see submission as weakness.
Ladies, learn how to change your tires yourself. I just got a flat not too long ago, so I decided that I was going to go to the nearest gas station and fill up my tire. Come to find out, there's a hole in my tire that I can't fix. So when I go back to see if I can be able to put the donut on my car, I can't do it because I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I don't have enough strength to be able to grip in my hands. So I go into the gas station to see if I can ask the attendant if he can help me. If he can help me, and he literally gives me the little Gen Z stare, and he says, I can't help you. You're going to have to drive to the nearest gas station. Sir, I came here because this was my nearest gas station, and the next one is not for another half a mile, which my car won't make it to because I could probably die on the road. He then continues to give me a Gen Z stare and says, well, you're just going to have to call for a tow. So I literally asked him, I'm like, hey, will you be able to help me crank up my car to put the donut on it? The guy then continues to Gen Z stare me and just be like, no, I can't help you. You're just gonna have to call a tow. So when they tell you that chivalry is not dead, let this be a lesson to you that yes, it is. A majority of men nowadays, even still, when they see someone in distress, especially a lady in distress, they're not gonna help. I would have done this all by myself if I was not in a rheumatoid arthritis flare and I couldn't be able to grip properly. So let this be a cautionary tale to you ladies. Learn how to change your own tires, learn how to change your own oil, and learn how to do the basic minimum upkeep on your car. Because a lot of people, a lot of these men seem like they don't owe you anything, and quite frankly, no one owes you anything, but they don't even want to give you the basic human decency of being helpful. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Chivalry is dead. I cannot remember the last time that a man held a door open for me or gave me a seat on the subway. And listen, I'm like able-bodied. It's like fine if you don't do these things, but it's worse for women now than when you were doing those things 5-10 years ago. When I moved to the city, I never stood on the subway. A man always got up for me. I don't know if it's that now I'm older and like less fuckable, so they don't want to do it, but like your chivalry really shouldn't rely on you wanting to fuck the woman you're doing things for. I just feel like, how have we lost the plot? Like, the point of chivalry is not just I open the door for you so that you will like me because we're on a date. The idea is I understand that as a man in this world, I have it much easier than these women. It would be a kindness for me to, I don't know, move out of their way when I'm about to walk into them on the sidewalk and not body check them. I could open the door. I could give up my seat. These little things that really ultimately don't mean anything, but make women feel like, oh, okay, at least people understand that my life is harder. At least these men feel like they want to give me a little bit of something because they realize that their station in life is better than mine. They don't care. It's done. Like, it's over. Men never get out of my way. When I'm walking down the right side of the street, I'm on the right side of the street and they're walking towards me, they will shoulder check me. They will not open the door. They will not, like, they won't do anything. They won't ask to help carry a bag. And these aren't strangers. These are men I know at this point. What's happening? We make 70% as much money as you. Maybe if you're a white woman, God forbid you're Latina or black or trans, you're making like 40% of what a white man makes, of what any man makes. We're out here risking our lives every day just by being alive. Being a woman in public is a risk. Open the door and give up your goddamn seat, bitch. No, women aren't gonna date you. We already don't want to date you. Do you think this is making it better? Be better.
In all honesty, she should be thanking feminism. She said when she was younger, men were very chivalrous towards her, and now that she's older, not so much. And her assumption is that it's because she's less desirable. But that's a surface-level take. What she's not looking at is how the entire dynamic between men and women has changed over time. Back then, men were expected to approach, lead, assist, provide. Those roles were clear. There was no confusion about it. And because of that, chivalry showed up more naturally. Fast forward to now, men have been told, women don't need you, mind your business, etc. So naturally, a lot of men pulled back, not because they suddenly stopped caring, but because the rules changed. And here's the uncomfortable part. When she was younger, she benefited from a time where men were more open, more proactive, and less cautious. There was less hesitation, less fear of being judged or misinterpreted. Did she really say men have it easier than women in this world? Because if that's her position, then it sounds like she's looking at life through a very one-sided lens.